On a morning in early September, MGM customers woke up to find their room card keys weren't working, slot machines were down, and ATMs unresponsive. To many, it seemed like a small malfunction in the resort system, but little did they know the hotel chain was under attack.
Hackers managed a big hit on 2 Las Vegas casino giants.
MGM is facing a cyber attack.
Hackers have crippled the company's computer systems.
MGM was being held ransom for millions of dollars by hackers around the world, and all it took was a single phone call to bring the entire system down. So how was one of the world's most complex security systems taken down by something my grandmother would fall for? In this video, we break down the techniques the casino hackers used, and let's just say it wasn't like Mr. Robot.
I live for this.
So, MGM systems were attacked by Scattered Spider, a group of young European and US hackers who specialize in what experts call phishing. Now, phishing isn't done with this. It's really done with this. Phishing sits in the same folder as phishing and schmishing. Most insane name, I know. Phishing is done through email, usually what your spam folder is filled with. Schmishing is done through text messages. You've probably gotten a spammy looking text about your Amazon account being locked. Then there is phishing, which is done via phone. If you've ever gotten a call about your car's extended warranty, that is phishing. And out of all these hacking techniques, it's the most successful. Back in 2020, Twitter was hit with a phishing attack that targeted employees via phone. Once the hackers had the credentials they needed to access Twitter's data, they took over 130 high-profile accounts ranging from CEOs to celebrities. They then sold these logins to a Bitcoin scam who tweeted from each of the stolen accounts, getting people to send them over $100,000 in Bitcoin. Now, how the hackers got into Twitter is the same way Scattered Spider got into MGM systems, with a single phone call.
I'm in.
Billions and billions are spent every year on cybersecurity trying to keep hackers out, but every day a new company is compromised because of phishing. So my coworker James is going to walk you through exactly how hackers use phishing to hold companies ransom for millions of dollars and the weak point hurting every company's cybersecurity system.
Okay, you ready? You paying attention? Here's how it could all go down. Now, there are a number of different ways phishing could work depending on preferred methods and end goal, but generally, these are the steps. It starts with reconnaissance, which they'll use to identify their point of entry. The goal here is to gather as much information about the company as possible, which these days is incredibly easy to find. You'd be surprised how much you can find on a company's website and LinkedIn. Hackers are usually looking for general company information, personnel info, infrastructure info, third-party vendor information, systems that are used internally, and personal information of each of the employees. Basically whatever they can find. And each bit of information they gather can lead to more and more info about the internal workings of a company and their employees. Again, it can be done in 1,000 different ways, but all they are looking for is someone that has a direct line to the system they want to compromise. Once they have that, this is where the phishing comes in. Now, the MGM hack is still unfolding and there are contradicting reports. Some say the hackers posed as a highly privileged user and called the IT service help desk, verified their account using basic information they collected through reconnaissance, like their name, date of birth, employee ID number, then requested a password reset or a change to multi-factor authentication to a phone number or email the hackers controlled. Other reports say the hackers posed as an IT worker, called an employee and asked for remote access to their computer under the guise of, let's say, updating an old software. Once that person gives them that access, boom, we got them. And that hackee would likely have no clue what they've done. They think they were just responding to an urgent IT request. Once they have access to the system they're targeting, the hacker can implement ransomware by simply double-clicking a file.
We're in.
And these days, you can buy ransomware on the dark web. You don't even have to code it yourself. For the MGM hack, Scattered Spider used ransomware they bought from ALPHV, or Black Cat. The ransomware would encrypt all the data on the system and hold it for extortion. In the case of MGM, there are reports that 401k information, social security numbers, bank account information for direct deposits, and more were all hacked. If you're just a Discord hacker, your road would probably end here. But if you're a higher level hacker, there are a number of other things you could do. One being implementing persistence, which allows you to keep access if systems or servers are restarted, credentials get changed, etc. At the end of the day, modern hacking is changing. phishing. It's less about modifying code. It instead uses something called social engineering. And it's defined as the use of deception to manipulate individuals into divulging confidential or personal information that may be used for fraudulent purposes. Social engineering focuses on influence to exploit human nature. Things like social proof, where people will do things they see other people doing, or reciprocity, where people feel like they should return a favor. Authority is the big one. People will usually follow the lead of someone they believe to be an authoritative figure, like a boss, for example, or a department head. And hackers will take advantage of this human nature by posing as someone else, or baiting, or sometimes even blackmailing. And this is why phishing is so effective and will never go away. It uses social engineering to facilitate human nature, making it nearly impossible to prevent. IBM recently found that 95% of data breaches are caused by employee mistakes, which lowers the bar for what it takes to be a hacker. For every company that invests millions in cybersecurity, hires penetration testers, implements multi-factor authentication, there is still a human being sitting at a desk, probably overworked, who is exploitable. It's more like buzzing someone's apartment number and acting like you have a delivery, rather than waiting till they leave and kicking the door in. Or like getting the real key to a vault and acting like you own the place, rather than incapacitating the guards, picking the lock, shutting down the cameras, and creating a distraction.
So, how do we combat phishing? Well, the Institute of Security and Technology has put together a task force to combat ransomware attacks. Amazon, Cisco, Microsoft have all signed on to help, along with the FBI, Homeland Security, and the UK's National Crime Agency. The goal is to develop better response plans and work with government agencies to attempt to broker deals with other nations where many hackers have historically used as safe havens. In 2022 alone, $71 billion was spent on cybersecurity globally, but of that $71 billion, only $5.6 billion was spent on training. And with so many companies around the world being attacked by Discord teams, maybe that percentage should be higher, especially with AI becoming more prevalent each day. If meme pages on TikTok can recreate presidents' voices playing Call of Duty,
Where are you guys?
My bad, Barack, I was looting.
I'm on my way, had to take out a couple of tangos.
imagine what they could do with AI in just a couple of years. The only way to truly combat phishing is to train human awareness. But remember, social engineering is exploiting human nature. A well-designed con and motivated hacker will always be able to exploit human error.
In the time I've been recording this, I have 3 missed calls that are all labeled spam risk, 2 of which are trying to mimic my phone number. So your boy is getting vished as he's making a video about vishing.